Communication is worthless without comprehension. Conflict isn't bad, but so often the way we handle conflict is creating a worse problem in the marriage. How you communicate matters a ton. We all need to learn how to bring up a hurt or talk about something that bothers us. But it doesn't matter how well you do that if your spouse is committed to misunderstanding you. And so often communication makes or breaks our marriages. It's the first signal that something is wrong in the relationship. And the sad truth is even the best partners will eventually unintentionally hurt their spouses. Eventually you will say or do something that creates a small rupture in the trust and the friendship and the intimacy in the relationship. Sue Johnson says that relationship stability depends not on healing huge rifts, but on mending the constant small tears. In mature relationships, we can repair these ruptures quickly with healthy, mature communication and validation and touch and humor and understanding and empathy and apologizing and changing our behavior when it's appropriate. In unhealthy relationships, where we use criticism or blame or silent treatments or passive aggressiveness, or we dismiss their hurt as too sensitive, when we launch into excuses and play "I'm not the bad guy," in those relationships, more of the wrong type of communication will only make things worse. That's why your discussions have turned into fights, which have created more distance and more disconnection. That's why you feel hopeless and alone. That's why you're ready to give up. That doesn't mean you need to talk less or more. You both just need to talk different. Communication is useless without comprehension. And I'm not singling out males or females. We all need to get better at healthy communication. We need to make sure we are open and receptive to our partners. Are you a safe place for them to share something that hurt them, even if it was something you did unintentionally? Do you encourage them to share something if it's important to them? If not, then you don't have trust or emotional connection with this person, which are essential for any relationship to thrive. The person that's bringing up the complaint needs to keep an eye on how they're starting this conversation. Did we ask them if this is a good time to talk? Are we careful to make sure we're speaking from a place of self without criticism or blame or passive aggressiveness? Are we using "when this happened, I felt" statements instead of "you made me feel," "you always," "you never" statements? And equally important, when your spouse comes to you with a hurt, are you receptive? Or do you push them away? Do you tell them they're just too sensitive? They just need to stop complaining, because that will destroy your marriage every time. And we can all be guilty of some of these things. But if you actually want to communicate in the right way, your spouse tells you that they feel hurt or alone or neglected or abandoned in some area, and instead of quickly dismissing them or invalidating or making excuses, we take a big breath and we get curious. We take the focus off of ourselves and we ask questions. We don't apologize right away. We don't appease right away. We show them their hurt is important to us by holding this space and asking them to elaborate. Yes, it's hard, but this is what makes people feel validated and heard and loved instead of dismissed and alone. We ask questions because we value their feelings and perspectives, because we value them. What happened that led up to this hurt? When exactly did you experience it? Are you feeling anything else alongside of this hurt? What can I do in the future to prevent it? And when you give them space to explain, when you remind them that you're a safe place and they can share whatever's on their heart, the tension in the room always goes down. Once you can summarize their point so that they know you understand it, then you can validate it, even if you don't agree with it. I can completely see how when I did X, it made you feel Y. And I'm so sorry. You know I don't want you to feel alone or neglected. What can I do to repair this hurt? That's it. We take accountability for how we might have unintentionally hurt them. We seek understanding, we validate, we empathize. This won't always come naturally to us. Vulnerability and honesty and closeness didn't come naturally for me. But love requires us to learn about them and practice them in our marriages. So get curious. Don't dismiss or make light of the situation. Instead, ask questions. Really show them that you care about learning everything that they're feeling. And repair through touch and affection and emotional responsiveness and understanding and validation and taking accountability for how you might have contributed unintentionally. And remember, the best apology is changed behavior. Please, please don't apologize and say all the right words and then disrespect them or hurt them or neglect them in the same way next week. That doesn't build trust, it destroys it.